Good morning, besties, and welcome on Degrees. So I just want to take this time out to say a huge thank you. Yes, thank you. For real, thank you guys. Thank you for all the views, the likes, comments, and subscriptions. I truly appreciate. And today we're going to switch things the other way around a little bit for the purpose of time, just so this video won't take longer than expected. We will dive into the business of the day before we take the trends. Previously on the show, we discussed on social, society, and inflation. And if you haven't seen this episode yet, please check on our YouTube channel, scroll through, and you'll find full episode on this. Without taking much of your time, we will dive into the business of the day. Today, we will be deliberating about Godfatherism and economic prospects. Whoa, I am super excited about this one because in as much as the idea of Godfatherism is supposed to be a good thing in the positive side of view, it also has a negative impact on the society amidst economic hardship. Godfatherism is everywhere. The idea of Godfatherism is in turn causing more harm than good. I'll tell you why. We take a short break, don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Welcome back. I like to say, even though many persons haven't realized, and it's quite unfortunate, but then an obvious truth, that one of the factors that can wreck an economy is Godfatherism. Let's break it down. Godfatherism refers to the power and influence wielded by a dominant figure, often in politics, business, or economic system, to control and manipulate outcomes. Trust me, this sounds like a bad movie plot, yet it's real, and it's seriously wreaking havoc on the economy. And just in case you're still wondering what economic prospects has to do with Godfatherism, I'll tell you. Most of the time you hear people say a person doesn't have luxuries of life yet, but have prospects. This simply means possibilities. This simply means hope. So likewise in society, there's something called economic prospects. These prospects determine what the future of the economy will be. Think of it as the forecast for the economy. Just like weather forecasts predicts rain or sunshine, economic prospects predicts how well economy or a country's economy will do. When experts talk about economic prospects, they are only looking at things like jobs, income, and business growth. There are questions they will ask like, will people have more money to spend? Will businesses hire more workers? All of this sincerely matters, because these projections will help everyone, starting from the government to company, to make better financial decisions. For instance, if the prospects are good, the economy may decide to expand and hire more people. But if the prospect is not so good, they will play safe. So economic prospect is all about predicting the economy future. Know this, whenever economic prospect is being mentioned, the first thing to put into consideration is the GDP growth. GDP is gross domestic product. GDP is important because it gives information about the size of the economy and how economy is performing. The growth rate of real GDP is often used as an indicator of the general health of the economy. So in broad terms, an increase in real GDP is interpreted as a sign that the economy is doing well. GDP measures the monetary value of final goods and services. That is, those that are bought by the final user produced in a country in a given period of time, say a quarter or a year. It counts all of outputs generated within the borders of a country. One thing people want to know about an economy is whether its total output of goods and services is growing or shrinking. But because GDP is collected at current or nominal prices, one cannot compare two periods without making adjustments for inflation to determine real GDP. Its nominal value must be adjusted to take into account price changes to allow us to see whether the value of output has gone up because more is being produced or simply because prices have increased. I hope this makes sense. Nevertheless, a statistical tool called the price deflator is what is being used to adjust GDP from nominal to constant prices. currently from research, analysts predict a steady global GDP growth of around 3.1% this year. And this growth is driven mainly by advancements, by technology, and by increased consumer spending. And in as much as GDP is a solid indicator proving that the economy is on a stable path or not, inflation still remains a critical concern. We have an episode on inflation already, so I won't go deep into it. But I'll drop a link of that episode down the description box at the end of this video. I like to say from analysis drawn from GDP, the future of the economy in 2024 looks promising, but requires strategic adaptation from professionals as well as government, so there will be flexibility in the society and citizens can embrace innovation to thrive in evolving economic landscape. But sadly, the reverse is the case, because rather than knowing these prospects and adapting and making good financial decisions, they overstretch and suffer the economy even the more. Truth is, when a few individuals have power to make or establish corporate businesses, innovation takes the hit. Why? Because the focus shifts from merit to loyalty. Talent and innovatives is sidelined, and the result remains that we will miss out on potential game changes which could drive economic growth and create jobs. At the end of the day, you see few businesses getting all the government contracts because they are connected to these godfathers, and smaller businesses don't even stand a chance. At the end of the day, there is no competition to bring in more finances and enhance growth. And trust me, no competition means no innovation. Let's consider corruption. Godfathers often engage in corrupt practices to maintain their power, and this includes bribery, embezzlement, and nepotism. Such practices, trust me, drains public resources and erode trust in institutions. When businesses know they have to pay to play, investment drops. No one wants to put money into a system where rules are unfair. You realize that decisions are now based on connections and not merit. Money meant for development now goes into their pockets instead. Godfatherism also leads to poor governance. When few people pull the strings, policies are crafted to serve their interests, not the public good. This could result to inefficient public spending and weak regular choice framework. For instance, infrastructure projects may be allowed to firm with political connections rather than those with the best qualification. This inefficiency tarnishes growth and public welfare. Godfatherism creates inequality in the society, trust me, meaning the rich gets even richer and the poor remains poorer. This imbalance can lead to social unrest and instability in the society. So how do we fix this? It's not going to be easy at all. But there are a few steps we can take to behold a change. Firstly, enforcing anti-corruption laws is crucial. No one should be bigger than the law, regardless of standard, regardless of position, and regardless of class. The authorities in charge of these anti-corrupt organizations shouldn't even be corrupt themselves. They shouldn't get carried away with all the bribes. They need to power and independence to invest and persecute corrupt practices without fear of a person, class, or standard. Secondly, promoting transparency is essential. Making government operations and financial transactions public can limit the scope for corrupt dealings. Think of open budgets, transparent procurement process, and public access to information. Lastly, We need to cultivate the culture of marital process. This means rewarding talents and hard work over connections. Education and awareness can shift public perception and reduce influence of godfatherism over talent. Godfatherism is a major barrier to economic growth, trust me. But with determined action, we can overcome. And just like the popular saying, the change we require in that society begins with you, and I. For the purpose of time, we take a short break. We'll be right back to take the trends for the week. And just in case you missed out on any of this on the internet space, we'll put you through. Welcome back. So we take the trends. On Monday, Rosenborg vs Manchester United friendly match played at the Leckendal Stadium topped the chart of trends as Rosenborg beats Manchester with total scores of 1-0. And on Monday, Whiskey topped the chart of trends as he celebrates his 34 years old birthday. Fans, family and celebrities sent prayers and birthday wishes to him. And still on trends, Whiskey topped the chart of trends as he bagged 7 nominations for African Arts Entertainment Awards alongside Burna Boy, Davido and Thames. On Tuesday, Mbappe topped the chart of trends as Madrid fans finally get to greet the club's new star. Mbappe signed a 5-year contract and was handed a number 9 shirt by club president. Amongst the list of top trends on Tuesday was the arrest of crypto billionaire Blood over fraud terrorism links. Likewise on Tuesday as well, President Bola Tinubu topped the chart of trends as he is set to meet again with Labour leaders on Thursday to reach a consensus on a new minimum wage. Alongside the trends on Tuesday was the death of Ekene Adams, a member of House of Reps who died at 39. May his soul rest in peace. On Wednesday, Hearts vs Tottenham topped the chart of trends as Tottenham kicked off the preseason schedule with a thumping of 5-1 win over Hearts. Alongside the top chart of trends was Lenny Yoro, who topped the charts for undergoing Manchester United medicals ahead of signing 5-year contract as Manchester United beats Real Madrid to €52 million transfer. Still on the top trends for Wednesday, Bukola Sariki trended for having the First Lady Remi Tinubu paying condolence visit to the family ahead of mother's burial. And on Thursday as well, the national minimum wage topped the chart of trends as the president and the Nigerian Labour Congress alongside the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria agreed that 70,000 is the new national minimum wage during the meeting at the ASU Presidential Villa, Abuja. Likewise, on Thursday, NYSC topped the chart of trends as the abductors of the 8 fresh graduates from Akwa Ibom State who were kidnapped in Zamfara State in August 2023 demands $50 million to release the last remaining victims. On Thursday as well, Bybit topped the chart of trends as it ascends and in doubling its market share to 16% and outstripping Coinbase earlier this year to become the world's second largest crypto exchange by volume. On Friday, the Dubai princess topped the chart of trends as she announced her divorce from her husband. Still on trends on Friday, Sergio topped the chart of trends as well as Manchester announced his signing is complete. Alongside the top of trends on Friday was the ageless star Ketenshall, who trended for celebrating her 53 years old birthday. Then, still on trends, CrowdStrike, the boss of cyber security firm, also topped the chart of trends as he admitted that it would take time for all the system to be back and running after an update from the company triggered a global IT outage. And just this morning, Chido Obi Martin topped the chart of trends as he is set to be signed by Manchester United following the expiry of his schoolboy term at Arsenal. So we call it a wrap. See you next week, same time, same platform. My name is Idin Naji, signing out.